Good morning. Good morning. Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands, ancestrylands.com. Going to give you guys a different view, just the drive only, just listening to me. As I say many times, you can listen to this video and many videos just like it in the early morning while you're doing chores, while you're working. I'm here to give you motivation, information, and oh gosh, I just messed up my train of thought. I'm driving by, far to the left, there's a mother kissing her child on the lips, not passionately, but just, and I don't know if I want to get into that, but I'm going to say this because I had to put a stop to this before it got to my children. We're going to get past my inspiration and all of that stuff. I don't know. We'll just jump right into the fuckery. The kissing, the grandparent or parent kissing the child on the lip thing, where I don't even understand that. First of all, and that's not even supposed to be the topic of today's video, but we're going to go left. We're going to go left right away. It's Tuesday. Who gives a fuck? Let's just go. So what is this you kiss your kid on the lip thing, right? And the reason why, as a nurse, this is sickening and it has to stop. We already know about COVID and droplet precautions, so the world is somewhat educated enough to understand the basis of when someone is sick, how that can transmit to you via droplet, via your spit, via your saliva when you are talking, right? So parents kissing their kids on the lips. Now, for many parents that have children, we're going to assume that these parents have copulated, have performed coitus. And if you don't know what that is and your vocabulary is not that extended, they've had sex. Now, not to get graphic, but typically coitus or sex or copulation, as they're also called, there's also other things you can do, but you are subjugated to touching the nether regions with hands, mouth, and other body parts. And depending on how freaky you are, it can get to deeper levels than that. And we're not going into that. But still, you kiss your children on the lips with the same mouth that you perform the nasty with. Now, I don't understand it. A kiss on the cheek is fine because it's your forehead. And again, every family might be different. I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but please argue the counterpoint. Because again, if mom was blowing dad last night, I don't know if I want a mouth-to-mouth Eskimo kiss or whatever the hell you call it. Or it's disgusting. Or grandma decided to take her dentures out. And grandpa now is going to he's going to the promised land, if you will. I don't get it. So I'm just going to say that, to me, I put a stop to it beforehand, and my wife was somewhat flabbergasted, but when I explained to her, just in a very crude way, what my thoughts were, and we talked to the grandparents. My parents didn't do shit like that, but that's different cultures, and I am in a multicultural family, and I just don't understand it. And that's just crazy. And the mom was taking a little bit. It wasn't like a little peck. This was, I don't know, disturbing. But that's different people's stuff, man. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say it because I have a platform to speak a voice. But the children don't get say in that, and children do not perform. They're not doing anything like that. So their mouths are clean, other than maybe their breath and lack of dental habits and brushing. But other than that, like, they don't get anything like that. They don't do anything like that. And depending on if your parents are together or not, they could be out there dating and being with different people, that have STIs and things like that. This is a public health service announcement. Stop kissing your kids in the goddamn mouth, please. Nasty, man. There are other ways to show affection as parents, but kissing your kids on the mouth, and you were out with Tyrone last night, hooking him up, fellatio. Come on, man. Come on. If you love your kids enough not to do stuff like that, and it doesn't matter, that's crazy. Any which way, we're not going to spend too much time on that because I'm already off topic. The show's gone left already. Any which way, in certain news, we got to get on to the more important things going on in this world. I had a conversation with a nurse yesterday, and it has proven to me that people are educated with degrees, but they are not educated in the world. People are educated with what, and I had a conversation with my mother about the same thing yesterday. I said, there are people who know medically how to save a life, but as far as what goes on in the world, how they vote, what relates to their dollars, their even political affiliations, they don't have the same level of education and know-how. They are woefully underinformed, especially how things relate internationally to their American dollars. And people say, well, I'm not, I just got turned off by whomever's in. That's the point. That's what they want you to do. Because when you don't know what's going on and who's in control because you're turned off by someone's rhetoric, good or bad. I listen to an opposing party, and despite whatever my party affiliations are, I don't stick to hard party lines because I'm looking for information. That's the point. You're supposed to select people based upon what their positions are, and whether it's at the county or local level. It's not supposed to be you don't like them because they are something. That's the point. You're supposed to listen to arguments and make decisions based upon the facts and information at the time that go along with your voting, what you're looking for in respects to laws and regulation or legislation that can be passed that affect you and your circumstances. Essentially voting with your wallet, however fat or thin it is. And people are not doing that. They're woefully uninformed, and you should never assume that just because a person has a degree, is a doctor or a nurse, and I'm talking about they can be as smart as they come. When it comes to the world, they know nothing. Most people I've talked to have no idea of the shipping strike that is possibly about to happen on October 1st. Yeah, you probably don't know about it either, which is why you're hearing it here. I'm putting it in the first 7 minutes. I wanted to put it earlier, but I didn't get to it after the damn mother's kissing her son on the lips. And she's talking to him with her. It's just ridiculous. I'm going to get off of that. I don't want to get flagged. And my point in saying this is that supposedly, and when I said it to the nurse, she had no idea even what a damn shipping container is. At the ports all along this country, you have, and I'm going to go into it just to explain what the shipping ports are all about. When we get products from different countries, because America imports a lot of goods and services, we export very few because we don't make any damn thing. The car parts, anything that you've realized, like saline for the medical industry, has been on delay. So when you need IV medication or IV drugs, a couple years ago, there was a shipping delay. Getting masks, when things are on back order, toilet paper, when you start seeing things that you normally can get in a day take longer to come, that is because it is being shipped from other countries to your country. And they do that through those shipping containers, like you might see on many of the videos on those big ships. They have all those containers. They could be cars, goods, electronics, automobiles, mobile devices, whatever it is, you name it. They come from other countries. Some and the shipping routes, just like airplane routes, they have different ways that shipping containers or shipping, ships. You saw that in the Suez Canal, the Panama Canal, and many other, the Black Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, things that come out of Italy. All those things go via ship and they get transported via shipping containers. They come in through the ports. These would be on your coastal cities: Florida, Georgia, New York, Pennsylvania, even probably somewhere in the Carolinas, LA, Oregon, or Washington. They're going to come up through these ones. Florida, on both sides of the coast. You might have some down in Louisiana, which we do, and the Southern Belt, actually the very deep South, Texas as well, that you have all these containers coming to these areas where they're near water, where the ships deliver goods and services to. And for just like Boeing, just like Amazon, and many of the other company layoffs that you hear about, I'm right next to this big ass truck. So, of course, it sounds like scene in Predator here, the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. So you can hear it. But any which way, these shipping ports, you got to look it up. You got to do your own research. I'm going to give you a little bit of the information. I'm not going to give you the whole story because, again, I want to bring awareness, and I'm not going to spend all day on this, but I'm going to just show how things are interconnected and how much we do not pay attention to what is necessary. We're too worried about Diddy and the damn baby oil thing. That's all I see people doing, is creating social media fads to talk about Diddy, and they're not talking about any of the information that relates to their damn lives. These shipping ports, the workers are going on strike, just like the Boeing workers are. So you got air workers, the ones that help with the airplanes, Boeing workers, because despite what you think, it's not just commercial flights or domestic flights that are going to be affected. This is the truck right here making all that damn noise, that are going to be affected. It's also going to be some of your shipping, the air carriers are going to be affected. And that means that, again, when you want to order things, when medical supplies need to come in, like we were out of saline a few years ago. I worked in a hospital in California. We had to use lactated ringers instead of normal saline. And what do you do when you have an allergy to LR, which is lactated ringers for nursing? We've had some medication shortages, some penicillin-based medication that are shortages. That's because the shipping routes were disrupted with the Suez, Suez or Suez Canal. When you had that catastrophe, when they all jammed up, you had an issue there. Now, the problem is the Houthis, whatever that, rebel group, they've clogged up another canal. This is not being televised at all. And where the hell is Joe Biden at? I don't give a damn if you like him or not. Where the hell's the president at? Kamala Harris is on the campaign trail. She's going to be dealing with these damn problems. Okay, if she's going to run for it, she's going up against, okay, but what are you doing about the problems we got right now? I don't want to hear about your election promises because you got another problem to deal with come November. I just don't understand it. Where is the president at? Where is the actual president at? And that's the whole point. We're not paying attention to what's going on. We're already talking about November and we're still in damn September. Where is the president at dealing with these issues? I mean, where? You would think you would see him out there talking about what he's doing and fighting and backing up the next candidate that, well, supposedly is supposed to be a candidate. I don't understand. But again, these ports have an issue. These workers go on strike and they're not anywhere near an agreement last time I did my research, which is just a few days ago. They're not anywhere near an agreement. The Boeing workers were not anywhere near an agreement. Come October 1st, you're going to try to figure out what's going on. And this video had all the information. But what are we worried about? Diddy and baby oil videos. And most people do not understand that what you get from, because America does not make anything. We don't make baby oil. We don't make 99% of the stuff that we consume. We get it shipped from Temu and Shein, but we're not making our own products and goods. Well, when you have port workers shut down, that means that people are not going to get the items, at least in a timely fashion, because they are going to use smaller companies that transport goods and services. But this is an issue on why it's important that America start making their own damn products. You're dependent on someone else to bring you something. It's the difference in when a pizza is late and it's cold versus you making your own homemade pizza. Yes, one tastes better, but one is always fresher and you'll get it ready and hot. And when I'd said this story about Papa John's before. No slight to Papa John's. We've loved Papa John's for years. But it became an issue where they didn't have enough workers and the delivery guy kept bringing our damn pizza cold. And I said, if I've got to heat it up, why am I paying for it in the first place? And we stopped ordering pizza every Friday. It used to be Pizza Fridays. Now we don't order pizza every Friday. So a company like Papa John's lost our business, not because they weren't good on their product. Their delivery was horrible. These layoffs are connected, and they're connected to your lives, but you're paying attention to the reels, and like I said, the puffy combs, the jokes made about the baby oil. That's what we're focused on. And we're not focused on, and like I told my wife, at what point do you get serious about life? Oh, you're in your 20s, you're young and dumb. Okay, good. You're in your 30s, you're young, okay, your 40s, 30s, 40s is now the new 20, now 50s the new 30, 60s the new 40, 70s the new 50. When in the hell do you grow up and start paying attention to stuff that matters with your dollars? And I learned that talking to the nurse who had no idea what's going on, spending all this time on the gram, watching other women talking about nothing, nothing of importance, nothing of substance, and then had the nerve to complain that Dunkin' Donuts is more expensive and they're complaining about the price of something that was $2 cheaper 6 or 7 months ago. Well, go back to the import-export conversation and you're going to learn something. And again, they're not going to teach you this in school. Your children may or may not know about this. You know why? Because again, the dumber you are, the more they can make the changes. The more they can, Jesus, I really wish I could get away from this truck. The more they can make changes, the more they can take away from you without you noticing now. I mean, just look at the political thing. Back in the day, you used to have to sit out, do interview after interview, hardline question asked. Now it's an interview with people who are supposed to be your damn friends out there interviewing you. No one is asking peering questions because the questions are coming from people who stand to gain something by the person being elected, not by the people who are going to challenge whether or not the policies make sense for the common person. All these people giving their opinion and they live in houses with sub-zero fucking refrigerators. I don't got a sub-zero refrigerator. I got to make ice with the ice tray. I don't have an ice maker. Although I should. That's probably a good idea. Put that on my list. Text my wife. Tell me to get an ice maker. But my point is that people are not asking the questions and you can't keep complaining about the 1% when you don't challenge them because you don't know any information. I don't argue with idiots. And that is what we are becoming. We're becoming the idiocracy because we're not well informed anymore. We're not researching and listening to things that benefit us, that are going or don't benefit us. We're too worried about, every time I go on Instagram, I've got to fight. One of the things I do like on Instagram is I look up like cooking videos. I've done some baking. I've started to bake because I've never really had a knack for baking. I've always cooked. And I'm bringing to work I'll show it here if I can grab the damn thing. I'm going to show you here. I baked this is a blueberry bread, like blueberry muffin. It's a blueberry bread. Now I made the first batch. It wasn't good. It was self-rising flour, brown sugar, blueberries, 2 eggs, and the self-rising flour is a particular flour. You can't just go get regular flour and think it's going to work. Self-rising flour, blueberry, 2 eggs, brown sugar, 2 eggs, brown sugar, and that made it that recipe, and it didn't quite taste as flavorful. Even my son said it was a little bland. So just talking with my wife, I put some vanilla extract in there, and instead of just using just the brown sugar, I use about a 1/4 cup of white sugar. Now that changed the flavor profile, big time. Now it's tasty and great. Even my wife says it's good. And my wife doesn't always like my cooking because it has more flavor than her cooking. But when I do make something good, she definitely lets me know. And this was one of the things that I made very well. She loved it. So I'm bringing it to work for the people that I work with. But again, like I said, just because I'm a nurse doesn't mean I'm well informed. Just because a doctor has a degree and can tell you everything about something they know within their trade does not mean they're well informed. These people do not know everything, and you may not either. But it goes to say, if they're not well informed, where are you at? If they don't know, then you should know. Because again, some of my patients, they may be affected by this and things that they cannot get on supply, or supplies are running out. Once it hits the medical side of it, we're in real trouble. And I'm saying this because you need to stay informed. You need to stay informed about what's going on and what changes are being made that are going to affect you and your children and your ability to survive, not just today, but also tomorrow. This is a warning to wake up and start taking some time out your day to focus on information that matters. Take 5 minutes out of your day and learn something new. Learn something you did not know. Read an article, watch a news article, and then watch the opposing view article. Research, do your research. Find out information that's going on. And I agree, they do this Diddy stuff, they do this every time, and that is because either a law or a situation is happening that they want you to ignore. They want you not to be aware of it, so that way you don't have to focus on it. You now can just get another extension to the deadline before the next event happens, before they bring the next thing in front of you to distract you. It's constant distractions. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, are very hip to the game, but we have not woken up. We are still in our pods in the matrix. We are still asleep. We might know we're in the matrix, but we have not woken up out of our pods and freed ourselves. Our brains are atrophied because we are not seeking information anymore. We're not having discussions with each other. We're not enlightening each other with information that we know. It's become a who's who of BS to talk about. And again, no one is talking about anything that really matters anymore. So it's no wonder children will prefer fantasy over reality, because you don't talk to them about anything that's reality based. One of the things you can do to wake up, of course, is always get my book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, A Beginner's Guide to Vacant Land Investing, on Amazon. The book is less than $20, folks. It's the best $20 you spent. Christmas and holidays are coming up in a few months. You can go get the book. The link is in the description section below. I am your host, Ancestry Lands, ancestrylands.com. Remember, folks, let me put this up. You either buy property or you'll be owned as property. I keep saying it. And they're going to take enough wages away from you. They're going to take enough away from you, so much away from you that they're going to own you, because nothing you will own you can possess and get out of. You will be in perpetual debt. Ancestrylands.com is where you can go to make a change, to start to own something that you can leverage against. You can leverage against the banks. I've said it before. Ask me how. Email me, phdavis at ancestrylands.com for more information if you need private consulting, mentorship, and it is not for free. All right, I could talk to you about things that I'm doing with my children, life insurance policies, any of those things I can offer you, as I am licensed in all things. I get licenses to know, so that way people know I know what the hell I'm doing. Any which way, folks, Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.